anticipation. Anticipation is usually going back in the opposite direction you're going to go. But that's not what anticipation is. It's just a form of anticipation. Anticipation is essentially building up energy to do something. If we don't anticipate, it means that we're just popping from one position to the next with just no buildup. It feels mechanical. It feels robotic. So for example, if I just turn my head from here, like that, there was no anticipation. It doesn't feel alive. It just starts to move. And when everything does that and just moves, it gets really boring. Even if you had all the arcs and the overshoots and all that, anticipation is building up energy to move something. And it's something we physically have to do in order to shift our weight, in order to move our bodies. So anticipation is a buildup of energy. And like I said earlier, it usually goes the opposite direction. So if I'm going to go that way, I'll anticipate this way, go out. So I'll have a small anticipation, go through there. If I'm going to jump up, I'll anticipate down, crouch down, and then jump. Again, it's the buildup of energy. If I'm going to punch that way, I'll come back and then go through. That's the anticipation. So we usually go in the opposite direction, but we don't have to. So for example, if I'm going to walk that way, I could duck down, then take the step. I could go through. So I take a breath and then take the step. And that breath is bring me up and then over. I could even anticipate, I can anticipate in the same direction, build up a little bit of energy before going through. That's a little trickier to sell, but that can still work. It's a small motion to build up to a larger motion. And on top of that, we can anticipate an anticipation and anticipate an anticipation of an anticipation, and so on and so forth forever. Now, we try not to do that too much because it starts to go on forever. So for example, I'm going to head in this direction. Okay, so I'm going to anticipate this way and then go. Oh, but that's a big anticipation here. Let's anticipate that anticipation. Small motion here, big motion, big motion. Oh, wait, but I could anticipate that. Now your character is just doing this all the time and they're wiggling all over the place. No. It's sometimes nice to anticipate an anticipation, especially if it's a big one. So for example, if I'm going to punch, big wind up here, I might have a little bit of, it's essentially a breath. And you can see that how my hand went forward and then back, and then I go into the punch. So I could do something like that. And when I'm trying to anticipate an anticipation, I try to avoid just going forward and back. So again, if we take that step in that direction, instead of going forward, back, forward, I might go down, back, forward. So the down here is the anticipation of the back, which is the anticipation of the forward motion. Hopefully that all makes sense. And you could even push it further. So let's add a breath. So big breath, that's the anticipation. Sigh of the anticipation of the anticipation of the motion. So that breath is acting as a double anticipation. It goes up, down, back, and then forward. So it's building up the energy, but we want to try and do it in a natural way and not just in a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth kind of way. That gets very boring very quickly. So again, do you need all of those anticipations? Not all the time. Most actions take one anticipation. That's all we really need, but you can always see how far you can build it in a natural way. So hopefully that makes sense. And really, again, the meaning of an anticipation is the buildup of energy so that we can do an action. And a jump is a perfect example because you can't just stand at a straight pose with everything just straight and neutral and then jump. There's no power to it. You wouldn't get anywhere. So you have to drop down, build up that energy to move out. And almost every motion has some form of anticipation unless it's a very small motion. So if I'm just doing like that, that doesn't need an anticipation. That's very small.